Denver 7 On Demand is brought to you by Ferguson and BAC Appliance Center, the best in bath, kitchen, and lighting for your home.
I'm Brian Sanders.
And I'm Molly Hendrickson with the latest from Denver 7.
As we approach the 7th anniversary of the Aurora theater shooting, we're taking a look at unique artwork showing portraits of survivors of gun violence in America. One of the people posing is Aurora theater shooting survivor Joshua Nolan. The portraits are by a Danish artist who's exploring the cost of the right to bear arms. Saturday is the 7th anniversary of the shooting. Nolan was shot in the arm and leg back in 2012. He decided to amputate his leg after living in pain for 5 years. In the photographs, limbs are replaced by the weapons that took them. Nolan says they're to depict the strength and resiliency he has.
To me, they still touch me, even when I'm looking at them right now. It's still really powerful to me, and still reminds me of what happened. I'm hoping if somebody out there sees my pictures and they see the positive side and they use that as a motivation for themselves, then I did my part.
Some of the photos will be on display for the first time in a New York City art show next month. A remembrance ceremony for the Aurora theater victims begins tonight just before midnight at the 720 Memorial in Aurora. It will be followed by a police procession just after midnight.
Thousands of drivers must find a new way to get to work for the next week as work continues to finish on the C470 Express Lanes project. The ramp from Wadsworth to eastbound C470 closed Thursday night. Denver 7's Micah Smith is breaking down how to get around this and how long construction will last.
This is a part of the C470 Express Lanes project, and this is something CDOT is hoping to wrap up by the end of the year. Now, this particular portion of that project won't last that long, but we are talking about full closures for the next 6 days until next Wednesday. Now, in that time, the plan is to rebuild the ramp from Wadsworth to eastbound C470, which is one of the biggest components of the entire project. From Air Tracker 7, you can see the work is already underway, putting new pavement in. CDOT says they will use this time to remove the existing asphalt, handle all of the construction, and as you see, repave the ramp. When the ramp opens next Wednesday morning at 5:30, it will be in its final configuration. Again, that's 6 days from now, and if the closure seems like a long time, CDOT says the other option may have been worse. CDOT is doing this 6-day full closure to avoid 30 nights of partial closures. Now, the best way to get around all of this is either to take Kipling or Santa Fe, but go ahead and just add a few extra minutes into your commute, and of course, pay close attention to traffic anchor Jason Luber's reports because he's got you covered each and every morning. Reporting in Denver, Micah Smith, Denver 7.
And maybe send a friendly wave to those workers because they're doing hot work on an extremely hot day. This is the dog days of summer here in Denver. Today, our forecast high is 100 degrees. The record high is 101, set back in 2005. Now, we didn't break the record yesterday, but we tied it when we hit 99. Today, it looks like could be our first triple-digit day of the year. So we are just on the western edge of some of these excessive heat warnings. And look at a huge chunk of the country under an excessive heat warning where it's going to feel, because of the relative humidity and the heat, more like 115 degrees, potentially even closer to 120. So that's some dangerous heat again, and that's going to continue to spread east as we get that big heat wave moving out of our state and to the East Coast. We today, though, still looking at a pretty hot day. 60s this morning, 80s by about 10 o'clock. Lots of sunshine. Make sure you've got sunscreen and a lot of water today. By 5:30, we're looking at highs right around 99 to about 100, 101 here in town. In the mountains, highs will be well into the 80s today. It is hot statewide with just a few clouds filtering in. Once the sun sets, though, it is perfect. Calm conditions, 80s this evening, and then early tomorrow morning, low 70s to upper 60s, it looks like, by about 6:30 in the morning. Here's the change. Tomorrow afternoon, we're going to see storms and showers developing by early afternoon in the mountains. Unfortunately, that does mean we're going to get some lightning in spots that have been under fire weather warnings for the past couple of days. Those storms will roll through. It's going to cool everything down. So you saw it about 5:30 today. We're at 100. By 6 o'clock tomorrow night, we're in the upper 70s to low 80s, and there is going to be a slight chance that a few of those storms could turn a little stronger. Saturday highs only in the low to mid 80s, and with that risk of severe weather, it's going to be this area covered here in the darker green where we could see some larger hail and damaging winds. The nice thing, though, is that those temperatures are going to drop. We're going to go from 100 today to 83 tomorrow and upper 70s, you guys, on Sunday. It'll stay a little stormy through Monday, and then we'll be back to near 90 by Wednesday, but finally, a little relief on the way.
All right, thanks, Lisa. Looking ahead to Saturday, if you use the light rail, you could see some delays. RTD is replacing wires. The work could affect the E, F, H, and R lines over the next 10 days. There will be buses in place for those trains affected. Senator Michael Bennet and our former governor, John Hickenlooper, are heading back to the debate stage.
Both of Colorado's 2020 presidential candidates have qualified for the CNN debates in 2 weeks. Hickenlooper will debate first on Tuesday, July 30th, with other Democrats like Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, and Pete Buttigieg. Bennett will then debate the day after against candidates like Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
As our Colorado grows, Denver is trying to figure out how to accommodate all of the people trying to get around town. The answer may be adding more bike lanes to neighborhoods. The city is looking to add bike lanes along Detroit Street near Congress Park, but some neighbors say they're worried the city might get rid of parking or cut down trees to make way for those changes. However, Denver city planner says that won't happen.
We're not proposing taking away a parking lane, or definitely not proposing taking away any trees. For Detroit, we don't envision it looking dramatically different than it does today.
The plan is just a proposal at this point. There are still opportunities for the public to weigh in before City Council votes on a final solution.
Meanwhile, the city of Denver is working on rules to keep e-scooters around for good.
Yeah, you may not realize this, but those e-scooters are here under a pilot program that's set to expire on July 31st. City officials confirmed Thursday they plan to file a short-term extension of the pilot while they work on a permanent permitting system. This comes after the Colorado Rockies are now asking scooter riders to dismount a block away from Coors Field before games, and that also includes bicyclists and skateboarders. The team says it's all about safety, and people we talked to agree.
The friends we're actually staying with, she did have a close call the other day, a little collision, but just like anything else, you sign an agreement saying you're going to be responsible and pay attention.
Denver Public Works says scooter riders have racked up more than 2.78 million miles since the program officially started last summer.
I believe it. Yeah. They buzz around everywhere. Thanks for watching this Denver 7 Now update.
Make sure you check back here later today for another update and download the free Denver 7 app for breaking news and alerts. Happy Friday.